Are Toyota hybrids really cheaper to own, or is that just what everyone keeps saying? In 2026, more buyers than ever are choosing hybrid vehicles, convinced they'll save money over the long run. But the real answer isn't as simple as comparing fuel economy numbers. The true cost of ownership includes much more than gas savings. In this video, we're breaking down the real-world costs of owning a Toyota hybrid versus a traditional gasoline Toyota. We'll look at fuel expenses, maintenance costs, long-term reliability, resale value, insurance considerations, and one hidden cost that many buyers completely overlook. We'll also reveal the specific situations where buying a non-hybrid Toyota could actually be the smarter financial decision. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which option makes the most sense for your driving habits and your wallet. Let's start with one of Toyota's most popular models, the Corolla. This comparison gives us a great real-world example of how hybrid and gasoline vehicles differ in ownership costs. A typical gasoline Corolla delivers around the mid-30s in combined fuel economy, while the Corolla hybrid can achieve close to 50 miles per gallon under similar driving conditions. Over the course of a year, that difference can add up significantly, especially for drivers who spend a lot of time on the road. But here's something many buyers overlook. The biggest advantage of a Toyota hybrid isn't necessarily highway driving, it's city driving. In stop-and-go traffic, hybrids have a major edge because they can recover energy through regenerative braking and rely on electric power more frequently at lower speeds. That's exactly where traditional gasoline engines tend to consume the most fuel. Now let's talk about another important factor: long-term wear and tear. Many people assume hybrid systems are more complicated and therefore more likely to wear out. In reality, Toyota hybrids often experience less mechanical stress than their gasoline-only counterparts. That's because the electric motor assists the engine during acceleration and everyday driving, reducing the workload placed on the gasoline engine. As a result, the engine spends less time idling, experiences fewer cold starts, and generally operates under lighter loads. Toyota hybrids also eliminate several traditional wear items, such as a conventional starter motor, while their hybrid transaxle design reduces many of the components found in a traditional automatic transmission. All of this can contribute to lower long-term wear and potentially lower ownership costs over time. Another advantage Toyota hybrids have is their transmission design. Most Toyota hybrid models use an electronically controlled, continuously variable transmission, often called an eCVT. Unlike many conventional automatic transmissions, this system has fewer moving parts and a much simpler design. Over the years, it has earned a reputation as one of the most dependable transmission systems in the automotive industry. Now, let's move on to another major concern that keeps many buyers from choosing a hybrid: the battery. For years, people have assumed that owning a hybrid means eventually facing an enormous battery replacement bill. While that fear may have been understandable in the early days of hybrid technology, the reality in 2026 looks very different. Toyota has been building hybrids for decades, and today's battery systems have a long track record of durability. It's not uncommon to see Toyota hybrids still operating on their original battery well beyond 10 years and hundreds of thousands of miles. In fact, many owners never experience a battery-related repair during the time they own the vehicle. Of course, hybrid batteries can fail just like any mechanical or electrical component. However, major repairs on traditional gasoline vehicles, such as engines, transmissions, fuel systems, or emissions components, can be just as expensive and, in some cases, more common. But here's where the hybrid often gains its biggest financial advantage: resale value. Many buyers focus only on fuel savings when comparing a hybrid to a gas-only vehicle. What often gets overlooked is how strongly Toyota hybrids tend to hold their value over time. When it's time to trade in or sell your vehicle, that higher resale value can recover a significant portion of the higher purchase price, making the overall ownership cost much closer than many people expect. One reason Toyota hybrids continue to perform so well in the used vehicle market is simple: Demand. Buyers shopping for pre-owned vehicles are usually looking for ways to reduce their overall ownership costs, and a hybrid's fuel efficiency makes it an attractive option. A well-maintained Toyota hybrid often appeals to used car shoppers because it offers lower fuel expenses without sacrificing reliability. That combination has helped many Toyota hybrid models maintain strong resale values over the years. Another factor is availability. In many markets, new Toyota hybrids remain in high demand, and certain models can still be difficult to find quickly. When new inventory is limited, more buyers turn to the used market, which can increase demand and help support higher resale prices for pre-owned hybrid models. Now, to keep this comparison balanced, there are situations where a gasoline-only Toyota may actually be the better choice. The first situation is if you drive very little throughout the year. If your vehicle spends most of its time parked and only gets used occasionally for short trips, the financial advantages of a hybrid become much smaller. It may take much longer to recover the higher purchase price through fuel savings alone. Toyota hybrids are designed to be driven regularly. Like any battery-powered system, the hybrid battery benefits from routine use and charge cycles. While Toyota's hybrid batteries are known for their durability, vehicles that sit unused for extended periods generally don't benefit from hybrid technology as much as drivers who use their vehicles consistently. If your driving habits involve frequent daily commuting, city traffic, or high annual mileage, a hybrid will usually deliver greater value. But for very low-mileage drivers, a traditional gasoline model may sometimes make more financial sense. Another factor to consider is how often you actually drive. While Toyota hybrid batteries are designed for long-term durability, they generally perform best when the vehicle is used regularly. Extended periods of inactivity are not ideal for any battery system, and drivers who only use their vehicle occasionally may not take full advantage of what a hybrid offers. The second situation in which a hybrid may not deliver its maximum benefit is when most of your driving is on the highway. Toyota hybrids excel in stop-and-go traffic, city streets, and urban commuting, where regenerative braking and electric-only operation can be used more frequently. However, if the vast majority of your miles are spent cruising at steady highway speeds, the fuel economy gap between the hybrid and gasoline versions often becomes smaller. You'll still benefit from improved efficiency, but the savings may not be as dramatic as they are in city driving conditions. The third consideration is ownership length. If you're only planning to keep the vehicle for a short period of time, whether that's a few years or less, the higher upfront cost of a hybrid may be harder to justify. Many of the financial advantages of hybrid ownership become more noticeable over longer ownership periods. Finally, don't overlook pricing incentives. Depending on your location, dealerships may offer significant discounts, rebates, financing promotions, or special incentives on gasoline-only models. If the price difference between the gas and hybrid versions becomes large enough, the non-hybrid model could end up being the better overall value. At the end of the day, the right choice depends on your driving habits, ownership plans, and the actual numbers available in your local market, not simply whether the vehicle is a hybrid or not. For most drivers, the hybrid still comes out ahead. It delivers better fuel economy, reduced drivetrain wear, excellent reliability, and typically stronger resale value. However, the best choice ultimately depends on your driving habits and ownership goals. So, which would you choose? Hybrid or gas only? Let us know in the comments. If you found this comparison helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe.